hope you all can hear me.
Yes, Mr. Vajeenda.
All right. Okay. As you all know that my profile has been shared with you all. So I'm Vajeenda S. Kandegamage. So this is my 26th year in the ICT industry. And currently I'm the Managing Director for Stemcore Asia Pvt Ltd. and founder for the Informing Systems Lanka. That's one of the software arm. And also I represent myself as the secretary to the BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT, Sri Lanka section. And also I have privilege to represent Sri Lanka as a board member at the Asia Pacific ICT level. So that's the in very brief. And I would like to take you to the next slide, which will be something interesting for you to think that of these things that I can share with you with very, very great ideas and for you to move into the entrepreneur levels at the end of your student. Okay, so I always says that you have to be independent. Independence make you a real entrepreneur. So this is why I just mentioned this thing. So this is the findings that I have came across. So throughout my last 25 years or 26 years in my career. So then what you basic, I would say that you have to deliver as much as possible to your parents, giving them a good educations, so then you can show them how you achieve your educations like that. So that this is one of my ideas. So then, and also you don't have to expect too much from your teachers as well, because the what's the standard says, the teacher will give you the minimum, the child has to get the maximum. So therefore you have to think about it a different angle. You have to get the maximum your teachers without expecting too much from there. And also at the school level or the students level, you have a lot of friends. I would say that you don't have to get a lot of support from the students as well, rather than supporting them back. So, and next level would be, sometimes it'd be employee levels, or sometimes would be some entrepreneur level as well. But if you are an employee, don't expect too much from your colleagues or your team, right? But help them, and you will become one of the key person in your team. So then you have a different task, you have a different ways of getting yourself in the next level. So don't expect too much from your teams, but give them as much as possible. And also from your managers. So when you are working in a different organization, your managers are the people who are looking some tasks get done by from you. But so then you don't have to expect too much from your managers as well. So again, so most of the Sri Lankan or the contest or the, I don't say it's internationally, but most of the Sri Lankans, what we always look at, what you get down from your employees, but you don't deliver the expectation of your employer, right? So therefore you have to think a little in a different way to deliver the as much as possible you can, and then they will identify whether you are a person who really important for this particular organization. Then when you become a leader in a different organization, or when you become an entrepreneur, or when you are a key person in a different sector, so you don't have to expect too much from your partners or the other directors. You deliver what you have to deliver. So then definitely you will become a key person in this particular sector. So then again, your employees. So you are expecting too much from your employees, and the employees will be frustrated. So therefore you have to give them a little push for them to come out. So, and also from your customers. See, it is not only the money that you receive from the customer, but not the revenue that you are getting down from your customer. You deliver as much as possible. Then your services, your solutions, whatever your product will become more value to the customers. So they will stay with you without leaving you out. So these are some of the findings that I did. So, and also before I go to the next slide, so I just want to take some of you to tell me whether you agree with these statements or not, or to share some of your ideas. Just raise your hands, or you can just speak. I think it's allowed to everybody to speak. Professor?
Yeah, anyone, yeah, they can raise their hand, or they can speak up. If you can ask questions directly from any person.
Yes. If anybody have any questions, yes, definitely raise your hands. Or I can, you want, or I can't see any raise hands. So can I continue with the next slide? So can you all just let me know whether you agree with my statements or not? Whether you're being a student at a university level, or whether, I don't know, whether you are working right now with the as internships. So whether you agree with these statements or not is very much important for us to move forward. So if not, so shall we take to the next slide?
I agree with you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So when you are an entrepreneur, when you are a business leader, or when you are having a business organizations, you have freedom to offer the ideas that you have. Then you have a privilege of providing a pioneering services to your customers. So this is one of the very good advantage that you have as a business owner or an entrepreneur, I would say, right? So then you are with a lot of excitement, right? Because you deliver a job, when the customer satisfied, then you will really comfortable when you deliver jobs with a very good satisfaction. And the solutions, when the customers are using your solutions, you will definitely get an excitement, right? That feels comfort, gives you boost your next level of your achievements. So these are the advantage by being an entrepreneur that you can get. And the other things that we always try to frame ourselves in a different roles, set of roles in an organization, in associations, or in even within your own family, your set of rules that you stick into. But when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have any hard and fast rule, but you have to work as your own boss. Make sure that you have to maintain your self-disciplines as well. If you have a good self-disciplines, and you don't have any barriers to do anything, right? So I would say it's a good things, right? Not a bad things, right? And the competitions. It's challenging all the times, because as a businessman or a business owner or an entrepreneur, when you are into the market, there are many competitors coming in. But if you are innovative, and if you arrive with competitions, so definitely you will get your achievements. So it's never ends. Always when the competitions come, you have to find out new innovations. So these are it's like a rolling wheels that it's never ends. So these are some of the findings, some of the standard rules, set of rules for an entrepreneur as well. All right. So I have already discussed some of the advantages by being an entrepreneur. So if you have any questions, just raise hands or just speak aloud. So then we will take you in. And also, this is a bit of a tricky things to discuss, you don't get the regular paychecks at the end of the month, but in return, you have to find something to some revenue to pay your employees. This is one of the challenging tasks. So to maintain the minimum income, so you don't get the regular paychecks, but in a way you can earn the profits. The profits are very much it's a multiplication of paychecks. So you don't have to worry about it, but that's a challenge. So that is why I have just mentioned it's in a bit of a red color. So then you will feel that it's a bit of an area that you may have to think a different way. And also, there may be a lot of responsibilities when you deliver jobs to a customer, when you are with your employees, when you have your own place to work. Plenty of responsibility are behind you. So there you have to think in a different way to overcome these situations. So, and next, staff challenges. Most of the time when you hire a employee, you may have to find a way to keep them in a comfortable way, as per their thinking patterns. So also you may have to give them some sort of like a ideas how they have to become, how they have to be with you by sharing their whatever the problems that they have, by giving them the more freedom, right? Those are the challenges. And because now otherwise what we have to do, you have to hire them, the next day you have to fire them. So it is not the good thing, good way to manage your own entity. So the challenges from the staffs you have to take well taken in. So because now these days I'm facing that challenges because now the next year is coming in, right? So because of these pandemic situations, last 8-9 months, so the customers, we have given the lot of services to our customers, but the income, the revenue is bit of a low level, right? Not the expectations, not up to the expectation that we were in the very first few months. So therefore, the challenges are coming in. So then we have to face the employees or the staff challenges in very way. And with all these things, right? With all these things, we can experience the new ideas. We can do researches the way that we want, and we can plan the products to be in the 2021 or 2022. So we can plan for a product. But when you are an employee, you have a lot of challenges to come out with these ideas. But when you are entrepreneurs, you can have a separate budget for your R&D center. You can start developing something that new, something innovative. Those are new things that nobody can stop it, because that's your own money, that's your own revenues that you have shared with your R&D center, right? So these are some of the good things that you can have. And also, you can balance your life with this. Because most of the time what it happens, when you are an employee, you bound to work 8 to 5, or sometimes if you are working for some international organizations, you have to arrange your time according to their time slots. So those things it's immaterial when you become an entrepreneur. So this is why I just mentioned it's a balancing your lifestyle, right? So, and also by being an entrepreneur, so always gives you challenges, solutions to overcome them. So then you have the flexibility of changing plans and directions whenever you want. So when you think that your business focus is not according to your plan or the focus, you have the flexibility of change the directions, right? So this is because now when you are working for any organization, if you identify that your focus is not in line, you can't change the directions. But when you are an entrepreneur, you have the right to change the plans and directions according to the business focus. So, and before I go to the next level, so I would like to again to share some of the ideas. So can I just point one person and ask whether what you have gained from these slides up to now, or whether you have any doubts, whether you want to clarify more, or can I just point out, or just would you like to give your input, or give you just raise your hands? Professor, do we have any questions? Or
I think you can ask questions directly from someone you like randomly.
all right, so let's go for Judith. It's 1740. Judith, can you hear me, Judith? Hello. So if not, we'll go to Pratibha. Pratibha. Can speak, Pratibha? Also.
Yes, sir.
All right. So can you just tell me, when you are an entrepreneur, right? So do you have freedom to develop your own products, or whether you can pioneer with your any new ideas when you are an entrepreneur? What do you think about it? If I say now, let's say now you are an entrepreneur, right? So now you have an idea to start a, let's say now you, by being developing, or you have a business sector. Let's say now you have a software, right? So, and you are you have a product ready with you where you manage all these retail outlets, and you find out a place where you can just go to a farm and collect the stuff, and all sort of like new things into the systems. So do you have a freedom by being an entrepreneur to develop this type of solutions to your own business? You can speak in Sinhala as well, because මට සිංහලෙනුත් කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම්. Hello.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Tell me. කියන්න මට ඕන විදිහට කියන්න කම සිංහලෙන් හරි ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් හරි ඕන විදිහට කියන්න ඔයාලට අයිඩියා පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවාද ඔයාගේ බිස්නස් එකක් ඔයා කරන වෙලාවේදී අලුත් බිස්නස් එකකට අත තියන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් අලුත් දෙයක් ඩෙවලොප් කරන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් අලුත් අයිඩියා එකක් ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන්න ඔයාලට අයිඩියා පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවාද ඔයා ඔන්ටර්ප්‍රෙනර් කෙනෙක් විදිහට නැත්නම් එම්ප්ලොයි කෙනෙක් විදිහට පුළුවන්ද ඔන්ටර්ප්‍රෙනර් කෙනෙක් වෙලා ඉඳදී පුළුවන්ද මේක තමයි මගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ වෙන්නේ. කාට හරි පුළුවන් තව එක්කෙනෙක්ට කියන්න මේකට උත්තරයක්. So anyone else can just let me know whether you can do this or not, or whether my presentation is not according to your expectations as well. Hello.
It would be more freedom if somebody is like an entrepreneur than an employee.
Yes. Yes. Correct. So when you are an entrepreneur, you have the rights to do whatever you want, but it has to be focused to the expectation of your customers or the receiving parties, right? So, okay. So let's go to the next slide. So otherwise the time also limited. So now next slide, what I'm going to share with you, some of the challenges that I faced and what I did afterwards. Right. So this is just a blank slide. So I take one by one what I did. So, okay. Okay. So soon after my higher educations, I had to go for some of the government recruited exams due to the family background that I had, because my father and all coming down from the government sectors. So then they were pushed me to go for our government sectors, and then I had to face all the government recruitment examinations those days. I'm talking about the 90s. 1994, 1992, 1993, like those days areas. So therefore, I just applied for one examination that is called DIT teacher. DIT means District English Language Improvement Center. So there I got selected to as a DIT teacher. So at the very first day training, so I thought that that is not the path that I was looking at. So then I just quit out from that particular training program, right? Because if I was there in 1993, so I had a chance to become an English teacher, right? So but I just quit out from that job at the very first day. So secondly, uh, I got selected again from the government sector. That's as a management assistant. So I got selected for that, and then again my father and them pushed me to go into this area to start this government job. So at the very first interview at the government sector, they asked, okay, because by that time I have already completed my computer education as well. So I was expecting some training position from the as an intern position from a technical or the IT organization, or those days called computer organization. So during this particular time period, this interview came in. So then I just walk into this particular interview, and they asked whether you are going to be a computer man. Yes, okay, yes. And why you're coming down? I said, look here, my father wanted me to join this job. This is why. So then I work as a management assistant for the public administration service, government sector, for 1 month. So at the end of the very first month, I got a letter from the HP Sri Lanka calling me for an interview for their interns positions or the training positions. So then I walk into my boss at that position. So they said, look, yeah, I got an offer. So then he said, look here, you can't go like that. You have to wait, and you have to wait for at least 3 months. So then otherwise you will be blacklisted for the government sector. So I said, look here, this is my path that I was looking at. So I want to go for this particular job rather than just keeping the letters and the files on side by me. I just want to go to this technical job because that was my ambition. And they said, okay, if that's the case, you have to work for three months. Then you give a letter of higher education or whatever. So then you can go out. I said, okay. So then some of the supporters from behind me, the friends and all the other officers, they said, okay, this is what you have to do. Then I have to wait there for 3 months. So then some of the colleagues worked with me by that time. They took a risk to keep me aside from them. So then I just quit that job and took over the HP Sri Lanka training position. So that's how okay. This government job also, I just quit out from my government jobs. Then I got a training at the HP Sri Lanka. So there, I joined myself as a customer support executive, and also I just promoted as a system administrator within a 1 year time. So then I had a privilege to have a training at HP Southeast Asian Response Center in Singapore. That was totally on the servers, multi-programming servers. Their server operating system was MPIX, and it's called HPUX, very much close to the Unix operating system. And that was totally focused on the HP 3000 servers and all. So then I was the only certified engineer in Sri Lanka to support these type of servers by then. So then I had a privilege to become a database programmer the same company. There were not like these days, so there were plenty of command interpret languages. So it's a DOS screens. You may have experienced DOS screens, and not like this type of a very nice colors screen. Those are black and white screens. So I had to develop solutions based on those technologies. So then I had a privilege to become an analyst programmer and the project manager. So there we moved into the object-oriented programming that is more like Windows applications and all. So then by being an employee, so I got a lot of inquiries from my friends, relations, and all the people to asking some advice on the computers, to how to purchase computer, what type of things are to be there in the computer, and what sort of memory capacity, hard disk capacity, they don't know whatever it is. So then I had to advise them a lot. So and sometimes I may have to take them to a retailer's store where to buy the computer and not. So that was becoming a bit of an interesting, as well as I thought of it a different way. So how to find a solutions for this type of requirements. So then I thought of, by being a programmer from my employee side, I thought of starting a hardware. So there I came out with this Infotech solution with one of my colleagues. So that was the very first company that I formed in 2000. So then that was totally on the hardware side. So then I thought I was doing really great, but it was not. So then I have another, I had to do a different thing. So there's a space of my 2000 to 2010 years. So what I did, I had a privilege to go out of Sri Lanka to for an assignments. Soon after I came back, I thought that is not the job that I have to do. I have to quit out from my job with a lot of risks, and my parents didn't like it, my friends didn't like it, all the people who didn't like it. But I took a risk to come out, and I got a chance from another very good, very big company in Sri Lanka offering IT manager job. So I said, look, yeah, I can't be a manager in your entity, but I would like to take a risk of handling your IT department as an outsourced person. So that the director of that particular company thought, okay, that's the new trends coming in. So you better take this IT department, take off from our company, you handle it. So then I had a privilege of taking outsourced IT department. So it is not only about the programming, it's not only about the hardware, it's a total functionality of the IT departments. So I have taken the outsource, and they paid monthly. So then I recruited different technical people from my entity. So there I started doing IT department outsourcing. Parallelly, I managed to start different solutions to the customer's needs. And also I got a privilege to represent myself as a product specialist in the Sri Lanka for the product called Conrack. That's one of the German products. It's Conrack product. So that's you would have seen the displays at the airports, the very big displays, the flight information displays with the LCD panels and all. Those were totally installed by me in 2004 at the Bandayanaka International Airport expansion project. So all these 200, there were around 200 LCD displays totally installed by my company. So by that day, so that's under the German product, and I had the privilege to get the training from Germany as well with this. So then I did my own software development and IC consulting as well. So then we managed to come out with different products. That's one of the things that we came out with, workshop automation solutions. And there's a product called Smart. So that was developed by our company. That's we had a privilege to develop a complete solutions for the hotel industry. That is the hotel industry solutions are called property management solutions or property management systems. And we did different warehouse management solutions for different other companies as well. So those are some of the achievements that we did throughout my entrepreneur level career. Parallelly, in 2005-10 era, that is not the only thing that you have to do. You have to be with the industry as well. It is not that you are isolated and you are doing your product and services to your customers, but you have to be with your industry. You have to you better know your industry professionals. You should be with them. So there I had my education from the Australian Computer Examinations. So then I had the membership from the Australian Computer Examinations, and also I got the privilege to have the member situations at the British Computer Society, and also I received my chartered status from the British Computer Society as well. That is called Chartered Institute for IT. United Kingdom. So that also I got privileged to take myself to the professional level. So then I managed to push myself to the industry parallelly by making my company in a different level, and my professional side also have taken up. So there, I was invited to be as a judge for the National Best Quality Software Awards by then in 2006. So then from 2006 onwards, up to date, I'm acting as a judge for National Best Quality Software was those days. Now it is called National Best Quality ICT Awards, and it is being converted as National ICT Awards right now. So I'm continuously be with this professional industry awards program. And I had a privilege to become a board member of VCS Sri Lanka section since 2007 up to now. And I'm the secretary right now for the VCS Sri Lanka section. And also I had a privilege to run the project called NBQSA, again the National ICT Awards, for 10 years continuously. So, and I was selected as a judge at the Asia Pacific ICT Awards competition as well since 2008. So up to now, I'm working as an ICT judge and the board member of BCS Sri Lanka section, and also representing the Asia Pacific Alliance as a board member. So those are some of the two pillars that I built up in myself. And because now you have your revenue lines ready with you, and your revenue is coming in, and you are taking your professionalism in a different level, and you are with the industry, and you know people in the industry as well. So there, I started another company called Infolink Systems that is totally for the software development side, and with many challenges. Yes, I would say many challenges, because without challenges you can't be success. So when you have challenges, only you will develop solutions. You come out with the solutions. You find new pathway to go out. Okay, so that's the second one, and this is the third era in my life. So then I introduced the cloud technology to my solutions. Then we managed to take up this Honda dealer management solutions in the country. So then we have developed ERP solutions to different customers, and we came out with a different model for the hotel industry that we call property management solutions, or the systems that's called PMS, and service ERP, sales and post retail solutions, distribution portal, the online check-in engines. So those type of things were introduced by me through my company. Then we have partners in United Arab Emirates, Ukraine, Japan, and Australia as well. So then Asia Pacific ICT Alliance board member, secretary to the BCS Sri Lanka section, and I started another two companies that is called ICT Pvt Ltd and Stemcore Asia Pvt Ltd as well. So, and I think I'm established at well. And if I go to next level, so again, if you have any questions or any ideas to share, or any sort of doubts throughout the previous slides, just let us know, so then we can answer those things and just to move forward. Can I point Mahesh Fernando? Mahesh Fernando, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, Mahesh, how are you today?
Good. I'm the head of the department of the IT
Yes.
department, and
Right.
I believe that you give a lot of thoughts to our students.
Yes, great.
And yeah, it's very much like to see you and explaining how you have gone through the ladder of your life.
Correct.
And it's a good sort of encouragement to our students, I believe.
Right, right. Okay, thank you, Mahesh. And shall we take Sandali Jayakodi? Sandali, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right.
So yeah, like story is very inspiring. Like
Right.
I got an idea of like being an entrepreneur is itself a big challenge. So
Right.
the way you have climbed the ladder, like facing all the challenges and like succeeding them is like itself inspiring me a lot. Thank you, sir.
Right. So now, what do you think, sir? What your plans to become an employee or to become an entrepreneur with these stories?
Yes, I would rather my ambition is to be an entrepreneur.
Right. Right.
Like
Great.
but like I would rather prefer to firstly go as an employee and get
Right.
some experience, and
Correct.
then using those experience as well, like to be a successful entrepreneur.
Right, great. So because now then only you can get yourself organized in a little different way. When you're working for a different organizations, their structures are different, totally different. You can grab the good things from different organizations and how they manage their employees. So those things are very much important for you to become an entrepreneur. So therefore, I would say yes, your thinking to be an entrepreneur is great. So just don't waste your time as an employee in one single entity for a longer period, right? When it is not the age for you to become an entrepreneur as your retirement, right? What will happen is the most of the time when the people become close to the retirement stage, only they think that they want to be your own boss. But after you take some experience like that, I would say it's a 5 years experience or 5 to 10 years experience, more than enough for you to think about your next career path. So then you have to take the risk at one level, right? So then you can be a very good successful business person or the entrepreneur at the end of the day. So then shall I point one more person from the audience? Ishara 1778. Ishara, can you hear me?
Sir, I'm Shara.
Ishara, right? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Ishara, do you have any doubts from my previous slides, or you have any questions regarding the entrepreneurial qualities, or what you have to do, or whether you are planning to become an entrepreneur? So what, just give us some brief idea about you.
Actually, there's no any issues, sir. But
Right.
could you please explain how you manage all this stuff with this limited, like everyone has a limited time period. So how did you deal everything?
All right. Okay, great. So now my basic idea, pattern of working with the fresh people, right? Most of the time, what I do, I always recruit interns, right? Then interns are very much easier for me to tweak them according to our requirements most of the times. When you take the experienced people, it's very much difficult because they're coming down from different areas, and it's very much difficult for you to switch them to your line, right? So then what I did always, we take all the fresh people, right? So the fresh people are trained according to our requirements. So that's one of the thing that we do, right? And the next level, when you select a manager or when you select a leader in your organization or my organization, so what I do basically, I just give a chance to one of my existing staff member rather than just picking somebody from outside and push them into the team and get the things out of them. And you have to be with your employees all the time. If you feel that the employee is not working, just talk to him and see whether he is with some problems. Because I face these difficulties because one of my employee, one day he was not there. So I just asked where is he. So he said nobody knows what had happened exactly happened to him, right? So but then I identified he's been caught by the police for some incident. So then I personally, because I know this person is not in that, so I personally visit that police station, right? So they personally visited, right? So then I spoke to the OIC over there, and I said, look here, this person is not in that. If he is, I'm going to take the challenge. I'm going to take the risk. So then he said, okay, if that's because you better call one of your lawyer and just you can take him off. So I did that. at that point. Then still he's with me. Still he's with me after 6 years. Still he's with me. He always remind that. So he always know that we as an employer or as a manager look after the employee. Yeah, right. So not only about the pay that you give back to them, right? So it is just a way of your working as a team, right? Entrepreneur, because when you are organizations, if you are a chairman of the organizations, yes, you have a different strategy to follow. If you're a large company, large through 3,000, 5,000 employees organization, you have different ways to follow. But if you're an entrepreneur with few limited staff members, so you have to have a different strategy. This is my strategy. I hope that I have answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So I'll go to the next slides, and that also the summary of some of my previous slides as well. So at the first decade, what I did, I was learning, as the previous candidate says, really. In 90s, I was learning and collecting experience for myself. So then secondly, at the 20th century, what I did, I looked for some professionalism, right? But being an entrepreneur as well, right? So at the third levels, so I'm heading and leading. So this is some of the achievements. This is summary of the achievements that I did. So these are very much important for your life as well. You learn and collect experience, then you become a professional. When you get matured, then you can lead anything, right? So, okay. So this part, I always says, not to forget anybody who helped you. These are some of the big people who is in the industry who helped me a lot to become this level. So that the very first person who is as at sign is the Sarda Gunasekara. He was my very first boss. When I was at customer support executive, when I was a database programmer, he was my very first job. And he has given a lot of guidance to me, not to become the entrepreneur, to be a good employee in the organizations, to be an important person to that organization. So he was a very good boss. So he's remember me, and he used to call me and ask, Vajeenda, how are you doing? He used to call me and ask. So this is the relationship that we built, right? And the second person with the quote, the person who had some values to my life, the Professor Gihan Vikramanayake from Columbia University. I'm sorry, he's late, already expired right now. And he has given a lot of supports to my career path. And the person who is with star, the red color one, is called Sujiva Disanayaka. He was a vice president to the NDB. And now he's at the retired status. And he has given a lot of encouragement for me to push into as a leader into different organizations as well. And the fourth person, the person who gives a lot of values, with a lot of business opportunities, with a lot of business leads and all, and always encouraging me to do much better than what I'm doing right now. Even today morning, he advised me to do something. He's called Rohan Amarasekara. He's the person that I met for about 20 years back, still as a mentor or the supporter or a helper or advisor to me. And the person who is in the hashtag is the Dr. Dileepa De Silva, is one of the veterans in the ICT industry. So well-known person. He was the chairman for the Asia Pacific ICT Alliance as well. So still he's with me and giving a lot of ideas, guidance, and support. So don't forget your leaders. Don't forget your supporters. Don't forget your advisors. Entrepreneur, because you can't go along. I have mentioned previously, you have to be independent. You have to be independent, but you have to be with all these people. Then only you will become a more success at the end. So then I will take you some of the information, some of the important stuff to be an entrepreneur. So how to minimize the risk. So you as an entrepreneur, you always keep provisions to fail at any moment, because some of the projects that you do, some of the products that you develop may not good at all, like it at all. So then the total money that you invest on that is wasted at the end. But there are ways for you to come out, because the product, let's say now you are developed a products to automate complete cycle of a, let's say, retail shop, for example. But at the end of the day, it is not success at all. The customers can't use it. But try to tweak it a little and to push it to the different customer and see how he can use that application or the solution, right? Or any product. So keep provisions to fail at the moment, but you have a risk as well. So take risk. At any point, you take the risk. As an entrepreneur, you have to take the risk, otherwise you can't be success. And also, you have a very big power, right, than being an employee. You have the decision-making power, right? You have the decision-making rights. You have to take the decisions at the right point, right time. Some of the wrong decisions gives you wrong output as well. It's like that garbage in, garbage out, right? Decisions are very much important in your life when you are an entrepreneur. So if you are an employee, if you take the wrong decisions to quit your job, so you can find another job. But if you are an entrepreneur, if you make a wrong decision, it's very difficult for you to correct it back, right? So keep these things in your mind, and you have to be competent. As I always said, you have to know everything. You can't depend on anybody. You should know what you deliver, what your projects are, when to be delivered, right? Those things you should know, and the technologies that you use, right? So don't depend on all your employees, right? Give them help to deliver what you want, right? And also keep your team. I think I have already answered these questions in the previous level. So the team is very much important. You have to be with your teams. You have to have the correct team with you to help them, but be with them. So then your team will not leave you. Your team is very much important. That strength should be there for you to deliver anything. And when you want to deliver your products or services or whatever, you have to act fast and on time. Don't delay any of your projects. Don't delay any of your services. You be with there on time, you be deliver on time. So then all the customer will rely on you. The customer relations is very much important when you are dealing with your customers. Entrepreneurs are totally dependent on your customers. Your customers. You can't say somebody else's customers, right? So then you are success at the end. And also you have finance, you have to manage well. You can just, because some of the projects that you get a lot of money, your revenues, you can just waste those revenues within next month. You have to keep some disciplines, financial disciplines as well. I'll give you a very good example, because when we shut down at the COVID situations in March, so our projects are some of the projects are in a 50% completed projects. So the incomes was not came in. So then we faced a lot of difficulties, but we had some reservations. We had some financial support from our reserves. So that 3 months, we developed those projects in a different level by using our reserves. By June, July, we managed to get few jobs from Japan and Ukraine, right, and some of the countries as well, and also Sri Lankan customers, right? Even we signed one contract a few days back for one of Sri Lankan customers as well. So you have to manage your finance really very well, because you have to pay your employees at the end. That's you have to keep in your mind. At the end of the month, you have to pay your employees. because employees are very much important to us. The team should satisfy at the end. If the team satisfied, yes, we can be very successful as an entrepreneur. Of course, last point, with all these things, you have to do marketing, right? So you have to have some sort of ideas of how to do marketing. If you don't know, so you may have to hire somebody and to market your products. So these are very much important. Those are challenges that we call in as an entrepreneur. So be aware or be well identify these tasks, then you can be a success at the end. Okay. These are some of the pictures that I have collected from my previous galleries, and some pictures in Singapore, and at the very first level training programs, you can see this picture. Sorry. With very, very old computers and all. These are some of the information from the Germany training program, and some signing of contract and certifications, some award ceremonies, some programs and speeches given by to some people, and some of the informations about my success. Finally, take time to know yourself, said Aristotle. So, which means you identify who are you, right? What are the qualities that you have? What are the standards that you maintain? What are the goals that you have to have? And your dreams, right? So try to identify yourself. So then definitely you know whether you have to be an employee, whether you want to take a challenge of taking the path at entrepreneur level. So these are some of the well said notes. So try to identify yourself, and remember that you have to identify yourself first. Whether you have these qualities, whether you have these entrepreneurial qualities, or whether your mindset is fully into that, whether you aim into that. So definitely you can be a good entrepreneur at the end. And also I would like to complete my presentations by quoting this. There are possibilities for you to position yourself as a director in your organization. If you act as an important person, yes, definitely I have given one of my team member to become an director. So from January onwards, he will be one of my director as well. So he joined my company as an intern. Now he jumped into the direct level position. That because of these qualities that he had. So I, as an entrepreneur, I have given a lot of chances to my employees to become them, for them to start their own companies, so for their own business services, or for them to jump into my direct boat as well. So there is a possibility for you to take yourself into the next level in your organization, or you can, some employees have purchased their own companies, some employees. These are some of the examples from the previous. So by final remarks, there is a possibility for you to position yourself as a director in your organization is if you act as an important person or reliable person for that company. So with that, I would like to complete my presentation. So we'll go to the Q&A session.